Okay, those of you that pay close attention will know I mentioned earlier that this bar was at an angle, and now you can see it's perfectly straight. Putting a spacer on there, moving this bar to this side. That also gives me a bit more room here to extend this plate if I need to, or replace it with a bigger plate. We'll see what's needed. Also, you will note that I have the slot here. Reason for that is if you put it on this end and then you adjust it, you foul the fan, which obviously you don't want to do because that will make a noise. So should there be any adjustment required, this piece will slide up behind the pulley perfectly safely. Now all I got to do is cut the brackets for the compressor, then offer it up, hold it in position, clamp it, make sure the pulleys are aligned. Oh, that's easy. Then unbolt the compressor, leaving the brackets where they are on this plate so that I can weld them. Easy said, huh? Yeah, easily said. Okay, these are going to be the mounting brackets for the compressor. Obviously they're going to need a lot of tidying up. I've got to cut in the mounting area for the compressor here on both of these, and then these areas will be welded. But first I have to get these correct on the compressor, level, mounted properly, which I'll do on a flat surface. Look at that finger, see that? That's what happens when you touch metal and it's still fucking hot. It went. Frying tonight. Alright, so next we'll be using my newly acquired tool. So, you know, hang on, let's put it around the right way, shall we? Oh, there. You know, to get the shape that I need for the bracket. Although, as I'm doing that was wrong actually. I'm going to do it on this side here. I'm going to do it one this side and one this side. So that was wrong. And anybody that's wondering, this is the compressor that came with the kit that I bought from Speedway, I think they were called. A C508 ZA06 Sandon compressor. They're standard compressors, they're pretty good. I've got to decide which way these pipes are going to go, and I think I've decided they're going to point downwards. If I had them pointing sidewards, I think they're too close to the inner wing, so we will see. Now, if you have any metal to cut like this, as I said, I think that's probably about a 3/16. This is the piece I've just cut out of it with this tool. I think it's a Harbour Freight job. It was like 15 or 20 bucks. Well worth every penny, but you do need something like this compressor to drive it. You need something that's got a bit of guts in it. But as you can see, that made a pretty good cut. Now all I got to do is clean it up with the file. The first one I wasn't quite so good. I got my shape a little off, but that's okay. I'll get the grinder on there, or my little Dremel in fact, to remove this. And I've marked them rear and front because they're slightly different shapes, and also this is a bigger piece and I want that on the rear. So let me get on and file that, and as my little friend who's doing the 100E says, who's from up north in England, I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Well, I opted for a different tool, not a Dremel. I opted for this. I think they call these a band file. Again, another Harbour Freight jobby. You have to buy the these pieces separately. 3/8 by 13. Well, it depends on the size of the one. Mine's a 3/8. There is a 1/2 inch one. And again, I think this was like $18 or $20. They offer you a warranty. Yeah, you don't need a warranty. If it busts, you buy another one. Again, another bloody great tool. I've just filed this. Now, I mean, it's a little rough, I grant you. I'm not worried about that at the moment. That I can soon smooth out. But it's now given me the shape that I hope I need. But of course, that I will find out when I try and offer it up to the compressor. And then I have to make sure that I get it level. So I'm going to use my flat surface. How am I going to do this? Flat surface, cradle the compressor on top of these, make sure the compressor's level with the bench. Now the bench may not be level, but as long as I know how far off it is, then I can make sure that the compressor is the same distance off. Then I can drill holes in these brackets. Then I can offer the whole kit and caboodle up to the car, and that's when the fun's really going to begin, because then I've got to set it right for the pulleys and hold it still and clamp it. Yeah, good old Jed. That's not going to be fun, is it? Oh well, never mind. That's what I got myself into. All right, now just so that I can get into the ballpark of level with these two brackets that are on here, and you know, I'm under no illusions about the levelness of the bench, but even just looking at it straight across, I can tell that this is tilting that way. So let's have a look and see what the spirit level says. Spirit level tells me it's high at this end. The bench is high on this side. And if I come on here, I don't even see the bubble. And then if I lift the compressor, bingo, a bubble appears. That tells me that the rear bracket is okay, but this front one I need to cut out deeper so that the compressor comes down into it more. That's my next job, is to cut that deeper until I get it to the correct level. Okay, after a lot of jiggery and a fair bit of pokery, we now, I believe, are there. Let's see. So I put the spirit level here on the bench, the same surface that this is residing on. The bubble is up the end there. Put this on here and the bubble is up the end. That is as close as it needs to be. Now, my next task is to mark and drill the holes in those brackets. That is going to be a challenge. Must admit, not quite sure yet how the fuck I'm going about it. Let's see, I'm going to move my little anvil here. Don't you get loose. Now, if I can turn this over, bollocks. Oh gosh darn, my. Alright, I'm gonna have to put that back where it was, because otherwise I'm not sure that I've got it in the right place, you can see. So, alright, let me get the clamps back on here, get my Jethro on here. Alright, let's see, because I want to line that up there. Yes, Harbor Freight clamps, folks. And of course you can see the clamps cover up the holes. And I can see that that ain't right. So, blah, 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 blah. Flip it back. A flippity gibbet. Oh dear. So, release that one. Release that one. Right, before I do the clamps up, let's see where we are. Okay. Yeah, not that the bench is going to move. Ooh, now there's a thought. So that is now in position. What I do need to do now is mark the hole. Maybe, baby, I can do it by, I don't know, what can I do? Shoot some paint through there? Let me give it some thunks. Yeah, you can see now that they're not going to be quite level, the brackets, but that's okay. I don't care about that. That's a minor detail. Yeah, so I can get my pen and mark around the outer edges. Maybe that's the way to go. Get a pen, mark the outer edges. I still think shooting some paint or something through there would be a good idea. Because then I'm going to get paint on the compressor, aren't I? Which is not such a good idea. Let me go and think. Okay, I have marked around where the compressor touches the bracket with a black pen as best I could. My thought is, if I can find a drill bit that is the exact diameter of the hole in the compressor, and then I put it through and just let it scar the bracket, then that gives me a central point for drilling the hole for the bolts. I'd ask you what you think, but by the time you see this, I'll have done it. And I'll have either fucked it up or I'll have got what I need. I've just suddenly saw a problem. Yeah, great, I can do that on the front ones, but on the rear I can't get a fucking drill bit in there, can I? Bolux. Gonna have to think of something different for the rear. 1 pace forward and 3 back. What can I do for the rear? I'll have to put my thinking cap on, and these days it's very tight. Okay, so I removed this, and this hole is a 25/64. So I put the drill in there and spun it up. That hopefully, has made a mark on this plate, and I did the same on the other side. Now on this side, still not sure how I'm gonna, oh excuse me, best achieve it. Cheap cocaine. I must buy the expensive stuff. Still not sure I'm gonna do this. Still got to give it more thought. Do I try and put a long drill bit all the way through? There's a thought. Get the bracket out of the way. Put the 20, here's the 25/64 long enough. Oh, and this kit, yeah, Harbour Freight. No, they're not the longest lasting fucking drill bits, but they sure as hell get you out of a lot of problems. Do you know what? I might just be able to do that. Let me try. This part of the video you may not see. I've put the bracket back on. I tried to drill, not drill, but you know, get the drill bit there. And unfortunately, of course, the chuck is here. So I'm going to try something here. I'm going to use the drill bit as a center punch. Now I'm going to do the other one. Yes, and all you engineers out there are crying right now, I know. Me too. I have engineering experience. Hitting a drill bit with a hammer? Are you insane? Ooh. Tell you what, change of plan. Because I can't be sure which is the right mark. God, this guy's clever. Ah, yeah, don't cover up the marks, Gary. Then you wouldn't be so fucking clever, would you? Right. I can't cover up my pen marks, but I've also got to make sure I get where I need to be. Okay, that's it. All right. Wow. Oh shit. Which way around was? Oh, this way. Oh, hang on, Gary. Jesus. You know, if I had half a fucking brain, I'd be really bloody dangerous. Dear, oh dear. Right. So I'm going to get my... Boy, do you have to get creative sometimes. Let's see. Move that into position there. And whilst I'm trying to be precise, it doesn't matter too much. But I can't be 1/4 of an inch off, okay? So let's try this again. Okay, before we move anything, believe me, engineers, I am crying when I'm doing this. So I've got me dimples. Let me get a centre punch now and punch me dimples. I'll be back. Okay, let's remove the tape and see. Good, I've got a dimple there, got a dimple there, there and there. All right, so now I have the 4 holes, or 4 marks, that I need to drill the holes. Whew. Okay, I'm going to end this one here. I just like to keep you guys hanging on and keep watching my videos. So I'm going to pump this out tonight for absolutely no reason other than the fact that I can. So you know what to do. Go in the garage, get some shit, come back tomorrow or next day, well, I can't remember which it's going to be yet. When these holes are drilled, they are fitted to the compressor, and then the compressor is put on the fucking awful bracket that I've created. And do understand that once I've got everything done, welded, sorted, then I will pretty it. Whew! Ain't this fun? Get in my garage, go do some shit.